What up, dude? Let's see the news.
David Muir, ABC's World News Tonight, America's most watched newscast. Now streaming same day with all the breaking news of the day on Disney Plus. Most watched, most trusted. Now on Disney Plus every night.
Ooh.
Tonight, the dangerous weather impacting millions. Wildfires tear through Washington state, prompting major evacuations with hundreds of buildings damaged or destroyed.
Holy shit!
On block after block, only chimneys remain. A deadly crash. New video captures the moment two helicopters collide as crews battled fires in Greece and the desperate search for survivors. Relentless heat in the western U.S. and now much of the eastern half of the country is bracing for flash floods. Our weather team times it all out. Also tonight, customers
run through their
lives when a gunman opens fire at an In-N-Out restaurant in Idaho. Multiple deaths reported. And what we've learned about the off-duty officer, an armed citizen who police say saved lives.
There's fires in Greece. There's grease fires.
The family drama that could impact national politics. Growing calls for an Ohio congressman to resign, while his former father-in-law, a U.S. senator, says he's not fit to hold public office. A frantic rescue effort. 10 Americans pulled to safety after a seaplane crashes in the sea just after takeoff. President Trump calls off a series of massive strikes on Iran. The president says negotiators have reached the parameters of a deal to end the fighting and open the Strait of Hormuz. But is Iran ready to agree? The extraordinary warning from Microsoft. Alleged Russian hackers are exploiting Wi-Fi in American hotels to break into your files. Our spidey senses are tingling as Spider-Man Brand New Day soars into the box office record books. And America Strong. Tonight, for the first time in
Spider-Man
decades,
yet?
These women take to the field in a league of their own.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us on this busy Sunday. I'm Lindsay Davis. We begin tonight with those devastating wildfires destroying hundreds of homes, businesses, and other buildings in Spokane, Washington. The haunting images coming in tonight. Hundreds forced to flee their
straight to Idaho.
Now to new details coming in tonight about that deadly shootout near an In-N-Out burger in Idaho. Authorities say an off-duty state trooper and civilian.
Dude, just like that scene. Right here.
Idaho. Authorities say
this could literally be any town anywhere in the United States. You got the Petco, the Ulta, the Ross, and the Dick's Sporting Goods, and the In-N-Out outside of the parking lot. Like the template is there for this to happen. Any outdoor mall in my city. Looks like a place I know too well. Yeah, remember this is what you're fighting for. When you go to war.
An off-duty state trooper and civilian exchanged gunfire with a suspect. 3 people were killed, 7 others injured.
Oh, wait, hold on. Did they say off-duty state trooper?
Civilian exchanged gunfire with a suspect. 3 people were killed.
As if that guy was there on purpose.
7 others injured. According to police, the 24-year-old suspect died from a self-inflicted gunshot. ABC's Trevor Ault reports from Twin Falls, Idaho tonight.
These are the terrifying moments a gunman opened fire outside an Idaho In-N-Out restaurant.
Call the police?
What's happening? What's happening?
What happened?
What's happening?
Shoot.
Hundreds running for cover at this crowded Twin Falls shopping center.
Everybody's running.
We're getting inundated with calls, reports of multiple people down.
And tonight, 3 people are dead and 7 more are injured. These videos show 2 people firing shots at the scene.
10 people, 10 casualties, basically. This happens. How many mass shootings do we have a year? God, like 3 or 4 a day, something like that. I don't know. I could be wrong. But mass shooting qualification is 4 casualties, 4 people injured at least. Whether they died or not is irrelevant to the labeling of a mass shooting. So this is definitely a mass shooting.
One is the shooter.
But this means that there was at least like another mass shooting in the United States that's not being reported on because this one gets all the attention. It's like the news can just cycle these events daily, whether or not they want to cover it. I guess is another topic.
The other, an armed citizen trying to save lives.
We can confirm that there was an off-duty state trooper.
And I want to know what he had. What was this? What is this? Is that a silencer on it? I mean, obviously it's a pistol, right? But it looks like a... I don't know.
Save lives.
We can confirm that there was an off-duty state trooper.
That was not hit. Why are they framing it like that's the state trooper?
Citizen who actively engaged the suspect by returning.
Hey, look at that. I need to make an alert for that. 85 consecutive streams is crazy. They're legal now, right? I don't know. The silencers? I guess they are.
Gunfire towards him.
Taxi driver and Army veteran Terry Dudley was among those shot. His son tells us his dad has internal bleeding from those life-threatening injuries.
I woke up to a...
Yeah, you got shot with a fucking AR.
My dad was shot. I saw him as they moved him to the ICU.
Tonight, police have identified the shooter.
That's crazy right there.
Chad
that
Williams.
One where he walks up to the Tesla and like probably executes whoever's just sitting in there. Like straight, like head on. That's a crazy video.
Say he died at the scene from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. That In-N-Out had just opened
What's his shirt?
Week ago.
I don't know.
The scene from police have identified.
I saw him as they moved him to the ICU.
Tonight, police have identified the shooter as 24-year-old Chad Williams and say he died at the scene from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. That In-N-Out had just opened.
Chad Williams. Oh, he must be going through a mental health crisis. This is not terrorism, guys. This is when it's the white man. It's he just he had a bad day, taking one down, sang a sad song just to turn it. Well, he didn't turn it around actually. The unbroken footage is hard to tell. Oh, okay, yeah. I haven't watched a lot of the footage. I was waiting to see it on the news. Remember, though, we got to keep capitalism, which devalues life. People only see material conditions crumble and will never receive the help they need. It's true. I mean, yeah, that is true. Yes, there are a lot of people that are suffering from, the pressures, the mental pressures that capitalism puts on all of us here under the the great banner of the United States. Greatest system ever. I'm sure people will not lose it and commit mass violence because of it all. And especially when you give people guns. It's almost like, this is a formulated expectation. Like, give people like doomsday scenarios, like their own personal doomsday scenarios that they go through every single day. I saw like was it like the whatever the Wales account is that posts about stocks and stuff. They quoted CNBC saying that people don't even have $500 left over now after paying bills. Like the average American doesn't have $500. That's been a thing that I've seen pointed out for years now. But it used to be $600. It used to be, the saying was, Americans don't have $600 left over for an emergency at the end of the month. The average American doesn't have $600 cash. So now it's $500. That seems like it's going in the wrong direction. Communist governments allow their citizens to have guns with stricter laws than us, mind you, and you don't see this happen. Yeah, it happens way too often in the United States. But yeah, don't do free health care or anything about like the mental health crisis of the average American in the United States. Don't also push like nationalist ideology. I'm sure it'll come out that this guy like hated Mexicans or something. That's usually what happens, and then they just ignore it.
A week ago and was drawing massive crowds of people, and we now know
one. And then they won't call it terrorism.
Of the restaurant workers is among the dead. In-N-Out saying in a statement, "We lost one of our beautiful associates. She was taking care of our most important asset, our customers. He took the precious lives of our associate and customers, innocent people who never saw it coming."
And Lindsay
Man, I want them to call me beautiful. Like if I get assassinated by some sort of terrorist.
Leaders say the motive in this shooting is still unclear. They want to talk to and get video from the hundreds of people who were in this area when all those shots were fired. Lindsay.
Trevor, thanks so much. Now to the congressional.
Yeah, I don't know if I could show like the other footage that wasn't that hasn't been edited, but I'll probably just play it safe.
In Ohio, rocked
for
by
TOS
domestic
purposes.
Abuse allegations. Republican Representative Max Miller is facing growing calls to end his reelection campaign. His former father-in-law, Senator Bernie Moreno, says he's not fit for office. Miller vehemently denies the allegations and is vowing to stay in the race. Here's ABC's Alex Perchet.
Tonight,
but you know, to that point, it's kind of weird how like when your needs are met, you don't really feel like you need to just go shoot up the place. It's kind of weird, you know. Your basic needs are met, and you know, like you don't see it happen. It happens so often in the United States, and people will try to argue that the United States is a bigger country and all this other stuff. Like it's all too common, and we accept it, and it shouldn't be happening, especially like in the wealthiest country in the world, right? Even though the wealth disparity is gigantic.
Capitol Hill just days before a crucial election deadline.
Sorry about the technical difficulties, everyone. It's our first time doing a live stream.
Ohio Republican Max Miller, facing mounting pressure to drop his congressional re-election campaign, is fiercely defending himself from domestic abuse allegations in a bitter custody battle with his ex-wife, Emily Moreno, the daughter of Republican Senator from Ohio, Bernie Moreno. In police reports obtained by ABC News, Miller's ex-wife accused him of throwing her against a wall, holding a gun to her head, and scalding her with hot water. Miller denies all allegations.
My former wife is engaging in a pattern of
scolding her with hot water,
incredible, serious, and destructive allegations with absolutely no evidence.
Senator Moreno posting, if there are any basic standards of character required to hold elected office, Max Miller fails them. I believe Max Miller needs to seek professional help. Miller firing back, you know this isn't true, and the only reason you are speaking out now is to hide from your own media circus. The congressman, who was endorsed by President Trump, says he will remain in the race for re-election before a Wednesday deadline.
See, this is what this is about, right? Like, you know, we see Trump leading by like an example of a Republican representative that can do nothing wrong. And now the Republican Party, yeah, exactly. Abuser endorses abuser. Yeah. So people that vote Republican, they're like, oh, well, I already voted for one abuser. I don't see a problem with this. Like years ago, like a decade or two ago, the dude would have resigned before the story even broke out.
There was allegation. We have a process here. The House Ethics Committee works on those things. If allegations are made, they work through a process.
But the timing of this war of words is setting off a debate for Republicans because Democrats are eyeing Miller's seat as a possible target. He won that district 2 years ago with just over 51% of the vote. Lindsay?
Lots of people will be paying attention to that one, Alan.
They didn't quote him. I was watching NBC News earlier, and they quoted him, or they had his his clip, and he said like, if I abused my wife, then why would she be making a sandwich for me 6 days later? Like that's crazy, man. That's a crazy thing to say. I don't fucking know, man.
Alex, thank you. Now to a terrifying close call for 10 Americans in the Bahamas. Authorities say a seaplane crashed into a dock while trying to take off on Saturday. Fortunately, everyone is okay.
He said that shit.
This is Morgan Norwood has a...
Oh, let me see if I can find it. Let me see. Hold on. Duplicate. Oh.
Ethics Committee works on
NBC
those things.
News.
If allegations are made, they work.
Was it this? It was this one. Yeah, it was 3 hours. This was a really short one. They must have had a sports ball game or something going on.
This is NBC Nightly News with Hallie Jackson.
With the most painful accusation of all, I have never abused our daughter. I categorically deny abusing my former wife.
And after a lengthy live video on X, the two-term Ohio congressman posting a Dropbox folder he says contains the keys to his innocence, months into a bitter custody dispute between him and his former partner Emily Moreno, the daughter of Senator Bernie Moreno. She accuses Miller of throwing hot water on her and holding a gun to her head, according to police reports. In February, police also investigated after their daughter suffered a broken collarbone and bruising. The cause of those injuries is disputed. Miller denies all allegations and has not faced criminal charges.
If I had assaulted her, would she have offered to cook me dinner 6 days later?
Senator Moreno writing in response today that Miller's behavior is, quote, erratic and dangerous, making it impossible to keep this matter private. And
insane, man.
Miller shot back, accusing Moreno of speaking out.
Like beyond parody, yeah. Like really, it really is. It's crazy.
The latest details.
Tonight,
Yeah,
what wrong here continues tonight. Lindsay?
Some terrifying moments there, Morgan. Thank you. Next tonight, President Trump is pausing massive strikes against Iran, at least for now, but the president cautions all this depends on how quickly a deal can be reached. ABC's Matt Rivers reports from Jordan tonight.
Tonight, President Trump backing away from the brink, calling off planned massive strikes on Iran. Overnight Saturday, posting on social media, saying he canceled the attack subject to being able to rapidly make a deal, adding the perimeters of a deal had been agreed to.
The parameters of a deal! Moron!
A far different tone from Friday.
We'll be hitting them very hard. And, at some point they're going to say, we just can't take it anymore.
But Trump saying that Iran and regional U.S. allies alike had since asked him to hold off, claiming any deal would include reopening the Strait of Hormuz and address Iran's nuclear threat. But nearly 24 hours later, no formal response yet from Iran's government.
Yeah, they're done fucking with them. They don't care.
Media saying no such deal to.
In other words, we're out of missiles and our bases and ally bases are getting destroyed. Yeah, we need time to restock and rebuild. Yes, but Iran's not waiting around. They're still firing on things.
Reached, it remains effectively closed. Prior to Trump's announcement, Iranian media said the foreign minister...
You could say we're on the back foot here.
...retaliation should the U.S. follow through on its threat to target Iranian energy facilities. After state-run oil facilities were targeted in a drone attack earlier this week...
Based around their learning, yeah.
The renewed Iranian threat sparked Saudi
if we've learned anything from the last 3 years is the rules of international war and order, the base, the game, there are no rules. It doesn't nothing really matters when it comes to dropping bombs. We're about to see the hierarchy of power shift, to quote The Rock. Yeah, I mean it's been paper tiger since day one, honestly, and they know it. The Trump administration knows it. Or at least if they didn't know it before, they're coming to that realization now that you can't just bomb your way to forcing another country to, especially a country as large as Iran, to meet your demands, because they're just gonna give you another Vietnam, basically, which they haven't even done yet, because we haven't done an invasion, but that will definitely happen. So we're getting the Vietnam. As it turns out, international rules have no reinforcement mechanism. Yeah, have no enforcement mechanism. Exactly.
To publicly urge the White House to de-escalate after Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman spoke to President Trump. Those fears include not just a wider war in the Middle East, but increasing signs that the conflict between Ukraine and Russia is starting to...
Well, Iran said... I don't know if it's going to be in any of these stories that I have lined up, but Iran basically released a list of their targets that they would be targeting. It would be major oil fields, some of the largest productive oil fields and refineries that they have in the region, including Israel, including Saudi Arabia. There is Kuwait, Bahrain, nothing would be off the table, basically. It would be a major worldwide economic collapse, or at least
overlap with
getting there. And especially now with China, China has already given up a lot of their oil needs, and has pulled back on their requirements. So they've tried to stabilize it, but at this point, like, if that happens, I don't see how every other country is able to recover from this swiftly.
Conflict. Last week, Ukraine attacking an Iranian cargo ship in the Caspian.
And this definitely happened, by the way. Iran received the body of the sailor that was killed in the Ukrainian attack on the Iranian ship.
It said was carrying military supplies.
Lindsay, many here in this part of the world assumed that they would spend today taking cover from new rounds of missiles being fired. That didn't happen, but it's still not at all clear that an actual deal between the two sides is within reach. Lindsay?
Matt Rivers from Jordan for us. Matt, thank you. Now to that harrowing scene in Greece. 2 firefighting helicopters collided midair near Athens while battling those raging wildfires. 2 crew members were killed. Let's bring in ABC's Marcus Moore. Marcus, what more are you learning tonight?
Well, Lindsay, tonight a desperate search and rescue mission took place in Greece after that horrific midair collision west of Athens. Images that are now part of the investigation show the moment one firefighting helicopter hits another during adverse conditions, one plummeting to the ground, and the 2 crewmen on board dying at a hospital. The other helicopter's crew surviving, and tonight authorities grounding all helicopters. Last week, 3 firefighters were killed elsewhere in the country, while in other parts of Europe, firefighters in Portugal, Spain, and France continue fighting the flames. And this could be even worse this year than it was last year, when a record 3,800 square miles burned. Lindsay, that's an area roughly the size of Delaware and Rhode Island combined.
Are you going to talk about the Morocco story? Like, Spain, like, okay, I guess I gotta fucking, good thing I have it lined up myself.
Massive. Marcus, thank you. Overseas now to a tragic ferry fire in Indonesia. At least 5 people are dead and dozens more missing. Hundreds were evacuated from the burning ship. Search and rescue operations are still underway at this hour. No word just yet on how that fire started. There's still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Sunday, including Microsoft's warning to travelers why the company says your hotel's
Spain on fire, Spain and being invaded. Yeah.
Wi-Fi may not be safe to use. A new video just coming in, the dramatic rescue of an injured hiker.
What's the rest of this? Okay, Wi-Fi scares, nighttime rescue, NFL stuff. Big story on NFL. Sopranos guy. Boaterman. World Dog Surfing Championship. Okay. Professional women's baseball. That's crazy.
Baseball fans, welcome to history.
On this night,
returns. I don't know what left. All right. Enough of the sports stuff. All right. Yeah. No, I got Morocco over here.
Israel, Africa, and I do not have a lot of time to explain this shit. So
hold on. There we go. Let me restart this. Now.
Africa, and I do not have a lot of time to explain this shit. So let's just begin. Morocco is Israel, Africa, and I do not have a lot of time to explain this shit. So let's just begin. I already know that I won't have enough time again to explain the whole story, so this is going to have a part 2 and probably a part 3. Understand this shit, we got to go all the way back to 1859 during the Hispano-Moroccan War. Long story short, because we do not have a lot of time, Spain invaded northern Morocco, and they captured a major city in northern Morocco, Tetuan.
And so they're putting in work. He's releasing like video after video after video. It's crazy. But like, also, have y'all looked at like the geography of like what part of Spain has been invaded? Because it's like right off the coast of, or it's like a land portion of Morocco. Like what? How did Spain get over there? How is that Spain?
The Moroccans took one last final stand against the Spanish at the Battle of Wadra, but they lost and had to sign a peace treaty. And this treaty forced Morocco to pay Spain hella money. So to get these Spanish niggas the fuck up out of Morocco, Morocco had to take a loan from Britain. Dun, dun, dun.
And Spain was never an empire,
and
nothing
like
like
the
that.
loan sharks they are, they had to guarantee their repayment. And how
I think there's a reason why Spanish was my first
by
language.
divvying up the
as a child.
ports of Morocco. Half went to the British to make sure they got paid off, and half went to Spain to make sure they
Britain
got paid
did
off.
keep
Now,
Gibraltar.
between
Yeah.
1894 and 1903, the Sultan of Morocco was just blowing money. It was money that he did not have. So he had to get a loan from the French. Here, France basically just bought all of Moroccan's debt, consolidating it and establishing the Moroccan Debt Administration in Tangier, Morocco. So just a little quick recap. Basically, Spain broke Morocco's treasury with war fines. Then Britain comes in and uses debt as an excuse to really seize Moroccan ports. The French used that exact mechanism on just a larger scale to buy out all the creditors in 1904, monopolize Morocco's debt, seize 60% of the state's income, and paralyze the fucking Sultan. Once the Sultan couldn't pay his army, well, shit got crazy. Also in 1904, we have the Entente Cordiale, in which France and Britain basically had a swap. Egypt for Morocco, Morocco for Egypt. Now, the people of Morocco figured all of this shit out, and they saw the Sultan just as a fucking puppet. This shit started the Hafidiyya revolt. Now, this revolt overthrew the Sultan and put his brother in. His brother was supposed to come in, tear up fucking predatory loan agreements, spill the European fucking imperialists, but he got hit with a goddamn reality check. Came in, saw that royal treasury was empty, and was like, fuck! To pay the army and run the state, he was forced to take even more loans from the French. This led to the siege of Fez in 1911. Niggas was mad that he was fucking with the Europeans as well, so they trapped his ass in the fucking palace. And all of this shit leads to the Treaty of Fez, which is very important, but I cannot tell the whole story because I do not have enough time, so gotta come back for part 3 or 2. Don't worry, it'll all make sense because we have
Part 3. Oh no.
to understand why Morocco's in the situation it is, to understand why Morocco makes the decisions it eventually does. Morocco.
I need all the parts on this in a YouTube video. But yeah, like what? Let's see. Yeah. Give me maps. Moroccan customs. What is that even? Morocco. Man, I can't even spell Morocco. Wow. This guy sucks. Where am I? Is it here? It's here, right? That was a lot? Yeah, it was a lot. Yeah, wasn't it like this little island over here? Or this is the part of Spain that they invaded. That like tens of thousands of people invaded or something. Like invaded, right? I don't know about you, man, but when I think of Spain, I think of like this part. Why is this part? Why is this line the part of Spain over here? They make it sound like, you know, there was like this massive invasion, like via ships or something, like the conquistadors or something happened, reverse conquistador, I guess. They just like crossed the fence. So Africans went to Africa. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is what conservatives lost their shit over. Yes. You see this line that goes from this part of Africa to this part of Africa? The continent? People cross that. Is that not crazy? What the hell's Moroccan customs anyway? This is a car shop? Oh, this is like the custom. I was like, customs, like a car detail, like a car place? No. Dumbass. I'm an idiot. Oh my god, I'm such a moron. Oh. Yeah, we need to start showing cartography to people again. I mean, really, like, I'm wondering, like, what the percentage of people that actually like own like fairly accurate globes are. I mean, even if they went to actual Spain, who cares? Spain caused the crisis in Africa. Yeah, yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sorry guys, I didn't stream yesterday because I was doing this. Hold on, where's my channel? I was over here doing this yesterday, guys. Now I'm going to force you to watch it. I'm the Hulk, by the way.
Oh my God! Sharkeisha! Sharkeisha, no!
Had to dance on it. And then leave the crime scene. It's the Gooner game. It is completely a Gooner game in all sense of directions. Yeah, playing that a lot for like a year and a half now. Wow, yeah, a year and a half. All right. Yeah, back to Taco Trump. Sorry. Here he is on Air Force One.
And by Iran. We were all set to go just about at this time right now, and it would have been a massive attack. We were all set to go, but when the Allies asked to call it off, you got to sort of say, well, let's see. And the reason they asked is I think there's a deal. There's a deal on Hormuz, and then there will be a deal.
I think there's a deal. You would know if there's a deal. Aren't you the guy that's like bombing people?
Nuclear, or you might call it the denuclearization of Iran. I call it the denuclearization of Iran. So we're holding it. We'll just see. We can do it anytime we want. But we were asked by the three primary groups. We were also asked by Iran, very strongly actually. They said we'd like to make a deal.
Yeah, he's just doing it for the love of the game. No tutorial, no tutorial used at all. It's true. He's just freestyling it. He doesn't know the combos or anything at all. He's just mashing buttons.
Now, you know, I don't know what they say because a lot of times they'll say that to me and then they'll go out and say.
Right now he's turtling. He's turtling.
Obviously, they don't want to be attacked, and they knew the extent of the attack because they saw it forming. What happens now? Well, now what we're doing is we're talking to them in the form of a negotiation. It begins tomorrow afternoon, and we'll see if it's true. I'd love to do that.
It begins tomorrow afternoon after the stocks open, just so the stocks can open high and everything will be fine. Yeah, got it. I got it.
Save a lot of lives. Save a lot of.
Friday, wartime. Monday, no more war. Everything's fine, guys. Okay, all right. Those things that went down over the weekend, now bring them back up. It's fine.
Unnecessary power, to be honest with you. It would take many years to ever build it back. If it could, I don't think it would be even buildable back. So we had an attack that would be the biggest attack since World War II, and it would have been disastrous for them.
He said it was going to be he said it's going to be the biggest attack since World War II?
And it would have. We had an attack that would be the biggest attack since World War II, and it would have been disastrous.
Wait, hold on. World War II is when we dropped the nukes, right? Wait a minute.
And they didn't want us to do it, and frankly, Saudi Arabia didn't want it either. They thought that a deal is imminent. Is there a deadline, sir? And the deal is imminent, having to do with the Hormuz Strait. And also ultimately the denuclearization.
He still has this weird obsession of renaming it the Hormuz Strait instead of the Strait of Hormuz.
So when I hear that, I say, well, do we want to go and be this severe? Now, there's a group of people that would like me to just do it. And there's another group of people that does not want me to do it.
Yeah, either we were going to do an Iwo Jima or Hiroshima to Iran. Yeah, that's what I'm gathering. Yeah, exactly. Yes, I believe that is what he just said. If you read between the lines. Yeah. Here's CBS News.
Welcome back to Face the Nation. 50,000 troops are deployed to the
let's go back in time a little bit.
Iran, a war the American public was told would last 4 to 5 weeks
when
it began at the end of February. American diplomats in the region are also in limbo. They're not the only ones struggling to obtain clear information about the war and its goals. America's far-flung conflicts. In Vietnam,
we're going into what the first Cav calls a hot LZ.
Afghanistan, and both wars in Iraq were beamed home by reporters embedded with ground troops.
They're returning fire with heavy machine guns, and that mortar round you just heard went off.
Hurrah! But in this military campaign, dominated by air and long-range missile strikes, there is no such reporting. Government-produced social media videos are our only snapshot of what is happening.
Maybe yours.
There is no free press in Iran. And after that deadly school bombing, the U.S. government restricted...
There's no free press in Iran. That's weird because I keep seeing NBC News and ABC have people there that reported from Tehran recently. Okay, I guess.
Commercial satellite imagery from being made public. Last fall, the Pentagon barred military commanders from talking to Congress without prior approval. There is no longer a traditional Pentagon press corps.
Yeah, every international outlet is in Iran. Ridiculous. Yeah, it's ZBS News. This is ZBS News, yeah.
Put reporting restrictions on them.
To the American media, as I just can't help but notice the endless stream of garbage.
He has not held a press briefing since May 5th. Past administrations gave regular, though at times factually flawed, briefings.
We also know that they have a very active weapon of mass destruction program.
I am severely disappointed in Margaret Brennan right now.
Today, Americans are getting snippets of the president's thinking, but few details.
We are the party of transparency, and we believe in transparency.
The public first learned of the surprise U.S.-Israeli strike on Iran from an 8-minute-long video posted at 3 a.m.
factually flawed means they lied. Yeah, exactly. But remember CBS? They're covering. They're running cover. They're pretty much right behind Fox News these days. I don't know.
The United States military is undertaking a massive and ongoing operation.
Trump estimated combat would last 4 to 5 weeks. 7 days in, he declared victory.
We're winning the war by a lot.
How many times did we win this war?
Their whole evil empire.
4 weeks later, he gave the first and so far only primetime address about Iran.
I can say tonight that we are on track to complete all of America's military objectives shortly, very shortly.
Days later, he launched diplomatic talks.
The bad news is that we have not reached an agreement.
And it should be ending pretty soon.
Didn't he sign something?
Perfect.
And declared a ceasefire.
We'll see whether or not they can make a deal.
He signed something written in Arabic.
We have it very much under control.
Trump said he feared the energy crisis would trigger a depression.
We run out of reserves in about 4 weeks. There are reserves all over the world, and
that was June 17th. He said we would run out of reserves in 4 weeks. It's August.
And there'll be a time when you wouldn't be able to get it, and you want to see bedlam?
We're negative 2 weeks into that.
Peace and a decisive military victory elusive, he declared a truce.
But we're winning militarily. It's almost won militarily, I would say.
And now America has returned to the war we were told we had won.
Trump won, lost the war to COVID. Trump 2, losing spectacularly to Iran.
No Navy, they got no Air Force. Most people would have given up, they haven't. So I give them credit for that. I mean, they're known as being tough. They're tough.
The lack of information sharing is frustrating Congress.
That's what this reminds me of.
I would put Rubio and Kaine and Radcliffe and Hegseth out there, either in a speech or in a long press conference, to explain what's going on in Iran, why we went in, why we're still there.
You deny me that information, and I'm
Why are they trying to make him sound like a good guy?
going to be frustrated.
Senator Bill Cassidy told us it took a yelling match with the president himself to pry out any information.
I need to know to serve my people and my state and my country. As it turns out, I got a briefing afterwards.
The Pentagon touts its highly produced video posts as direct-to-consumer updates. But the American public has lost faith. 63% of Americans tell CBS that the conflict is not going well. 67% say end it now. And 69% say they are not getting a clear understanding of what's happening on a day-to-day basis. Perhaps informing the American people of what their government is doing in their name might change that.
All right. What went on Trump?
Flexing like you, Dot.
I can't control. I used to be able to like go back and forth. These controls don't work right now. I don't know why. I think it's an issue with like the Chrome extension, or maybe it's me. I don't know.
One, women's sports will only be for women. Amen. 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 I agree. Edgy. Thank you, at. I am flexing like you, Dot. I agree. Amen. Now being that to Canada.
Amen.
Yes, we Trump. It's really that simple. Thank God the adults are running this show. What a monumental achievement. Thank you, King Trump. This should be classic, right? Guy, that's why it's called women's spurts. Men don't belong in women's sports. That's why it's called women's sports. I do agree with Trump on that. Men don't need be in women's sports. Definitely a milestone in history. Which sport is a woman's sport? Imogen crabbing about comb.
They put which like WITCH.
Common sense. Common sense, U.S. flags. Common sense is returning. Thank God, U.S. flag. We just keep winning. The party of common sense, Liberian flag. Cool. Now do bathrooms and changing rooms. Now that should clear out most of the WNBA like Griner. No men as first ladies too.
Didn't even spell Griner's name right.
Freedom reign. They can their own back home. Digger games. From now on, women's sports will only.
What? These people are insane. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Back to Trump canceling the Iranian strikes.
On Friday, as reports emerged of planned U.S.-Israeli strikes on Iranian infrastructure this weekend, President Trump did little to contradict them, expressing skepticism about talks with Iran.
I'm losing faith in them because they do lie and they do misrepresent. We'll be hitting them. We'll be hitting them very hard. And at some point they're going to say, we just can't take it anymore.
But last night, the familiar climbed down, posting that while the USA was locked
Popeye,
and
like, I
ready
can't
to
stand
go,
no more.
Military terror, strength and power not seen since World War II, we have just been asked by Iran and other Middle Eastern countries to hold off any attack and that the perimeters of a deal have been agreed to, including the immediate, complete and total opening of the Hormuz Strait and an end to Iran's nuclear threat. Based on this request, I have agreed to cancel the attack, subject to being able to rapidly make a deal. Iran denied it had made any such request, but this evening its foreign ministry said negotiations with Oman over a mutual mechanism for the Strait of Hormuz were in the final stages. One reported suggestion that traffic into the Gulf would pass close to Iran, ships exiting would use the Omani route. Saudi Arabia's state news agency confirming reports that the de facto leader, Mohammed bin Salman, had called President Trump yesterday, emphasizing the need to prioritize dialogue and de-escalate tensions.
Thank you very much.
A clear signal of just how worried America's Gulf allies are about Iran's will and capacity to respond to any U.S. attacks on its energy infrastructure with large-scale strikes on theirs. This is Iran's key deterrent, and for now it seems to be working. One US general reportedly warning the Pentagon this week of the lack of sufficient naval power in place to defend Israel from Iranian strikes.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
That US missile interceptor stocks have been more than halved by the war so far.
Yeah, we don't have the destroyers that we need, the Navy destroyers that we need that are armed to the teeth to defend Israel. They just are not there. So we would either have the option of defending regional allies or defending Israel. Can't do both.
And we begin this Sunday morning with hope of a deal in the Middle East.
On Fox News today, though, the message that President Trump was setting the terms.
President Trump always giving Iran an opportunity to have an off-ramp from being destroyed. If they do anything to us, if they break deals, they're being re-educated that he will respond disproportionately and make sure they stop breathing.
It could be argued that Iran's learning the opposite lesson. In April, Donald Trump threatened to destroy Iranian civilization just hours before the initial ceasefire was announced, a pattern that's repeated since.
We're going to be attacking them and attacking them very hard. If Iran doesn't
everything's very hard,
live up
very
to their
strong.
agreement, or if they're not behaving,
very strongly,
I will do what I have to do. We're either going to make a deal or we're going to finish the job, okay? And it won't be tough to finish the job. To me, I think it's over. I don't want to deal with them anymore. This scum. You know what scum is?
Today, it's back to the dealing with them phase of the cycle, but the options look no better. A deal that transfers at least
every
some
week
control
has
to
been
Iran
the same thing, man.
Like the kind of military escalation
months.
that could rock the global economy just 3 months out from US midterm elections.
Harry Fawcett reporting. Well, earlier I spoke to the former Middle East negotiator and State Department official Aaron David Miller, who's now a senior fellow at the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace.
Yeah, while these people are speaking like cartoon villains and people go, yeah, these are the good guys.
How he sees the current situation between Iran and the US.
I mean, President Trump confronts two options, neither one of which is attractive and neither one he wants to take. The first option is massive escalation. There's no indication that that could change Iranian core.
I think Trump thought that he was going to have the backing of like the UK or like France at this point. And it's not happening. It's just not going to happen. Like when they said, like, there was a few, I think there was like 3 European allies that said that they would go in and help clean up the Strait of Hormuz, like as in like go do demining, like a demining campaign, to see, if there are any mines in the strait. And Trump took that as, oh, okay, well they're coming to the table to help attack Iran. That's not what they're about. Like, no. Oh, he for sure. Yeah, he thought his imperialist buddies were going to join in. Yeah. So now he's just in a quagmire, basically.
Objectives or interests. The second is what I call political extrication. The president cuts a deal with the Iranians that concedes some degree of control and leverage, Iranian control and leverage over the Straits of Hormuz. The president does not want to adopt either of those. So he, the United States and the rest of us, the global oil economy and the international economy are all in the same boat. He has found an option that maintains some degree of military pressure and an economic blockade. But neither of those, frankly, is going to do anything other than tread water. So if you
living in limbo
how this
is
ends, I
just
could
living
not
in
give
limbo.
You, in all honesty, a compelling, let alone an authoritative answer. He's in a box, one of his own making. And that's what happens when you launch a war of choice in which you overestimate your own military power and not clear about your objectives, and you underestimate the impressive power of this brutal authoritarian repressive regime in Tehran. And here we sit.
And here we sit, you say, Trump, the US, the rest of the world in this odd status, this geopolitical anxiety.
What's happening with Iran?
I mean, it has to end at some point.
I'm so behind.
Doesn't it?
Oh my God, there's so much going on. I don't know how to fill you in on that. Yeah, there's basically we've been going back and forth with Iran. Every weekend is war with Iran weekend for the United States for Trump. And then every Monday is we were just kidding actually. We're negotiating now, and that's just an endless cycle.
It's an interesting question. The University of Chicago, in conjunction with Uppsala,
and in the more recent weekends, it's been well, actually, we're gonna stop bombing them because we're gonna be nice. When the reality is, weapon stockpiles are low. The oil reserves in the United States are low. You can only delay something for so long until the pressure builds, right? And I think that's kind of what he's talking about here as well. Yeah, nothing ever really changes other than you're treading water, every week that this goes on for the United States. Iran already was like in an economic crisis because of embargoes and restrictions that the West has imposed on them. But they still have trade partners. They still have means of getting their society and government working. The U.S., on the other hand, we enjoy our nuggies and prosperity and all that shit, and like billionaires making billions. But whenever there's a war that's going on that affects oil at this rate, it's going to be an issue for everyone that milks and exploits like the systems to make their billions. I mean, I'm partly for this war. The regime needs to go to keep it a buck, but damn, my groceries and gas prices get up. Now it's pointless and kind of okay. Yeah, it really is a pointless war. We had the like the Obama era nuclear agreement, and Trump immediately came in, threw that out the window. And then, they were like, okay, well, they were basically, once that was thrown out the window, and the U.S. said that's not in effect anymore. Iran still did not go and build nuclear weapons, which they probably could have, or if they really wanted to. Instead, the United States, what was it last year that we bombed their nuclear facilities? And then they were like, oh yeah, well that, you blew up the entrances to the nuclear facilities. Whether or not their actual nuclear stockpile was blown up or not, has still yet to be determined. Then once that happened, and then, earlier this year, in April, the United States decided to go with Israel and kill their leaders, do a big bombing campaign across Iran. Then once that happened, instead of going directly to war with the United States and the United States Navy that was being positioned around Iran, Iran said, well, fuck it, we're just going to blow up the oil fields and the bases that you have in the Middle East. So they started bombing all of the countries that host the United States, and not necessarily the countries themselves, but the military bases that are run by the United States. And some of those are in partnerships with the United States. Some of those are solely run by the United States. So there's plenty of targets. It's a target-rich environment because we have Iran basically surrounded. On top of Israel itself being a massive military base for the United States that we can launch, jets out of. But they were also, flying drones into hotels where military members were staying. So in total, we both lost and got dragged in. Yes, that is the synopsis. Yeah. And now we're in the quagmire where it's like, okay, well, do we go full scale war and everything goes to shit? Because if you go full scale war with Iran, there are still plenty of oil fields and targets in all of those nations that host the United States military that they can hit, that they have not hit yet. And they are very well capable of blowing them up with their missiles that they still have, even though they're like, 90% of their missiles. No, it's a lie. Like sure, they've been disabled. Sure, a lot of their capabilities have been disabled, but they're still very capable of hitting the targets that they want to hit. And I think the soldiers that died in Jordan, which is extreme, that base that they died at, extremely close to Israel. You would imagine that, if we had the missile defense systems that we have, and if they were capable of stopping those missiles, nobody would have died, especially U.S. military. But they did. So we're this late into the game, and they're still they can kill our soldiers if they want to. And this is definitely why grocery bills and gas prices keep going up. Groceries definitely going up, not going back down. Gas prices going up and down erratically week to week. That has been the U.S. war, the U.S. Israel. No, and don't forget, Israel is the one that drug us into this war. They wanted this war. They were like, guys, all right, Trump. It's going to be one weekend. It's going to be just like Venezuela. We're going to go in. We're going to kill their guy. We're going to kill their main leaders. Everything's going to be over. We're going to reshape the Middle East. Didn't happen. Now it's been months, and here we are. And not only did that happen, right? Trump got sold the idea, but also he really wanted to, he himself, narcissist, right? Really wanted something to hang his hat on. Fucking bomb the shit out of Israel instead. Israel is the one that drug us into this, but also Trump easily, persuaded because he wanted something else to hang his hat on. Iran's a huge target. If you could take down Iran, then he'll be like, oh, I'm the greatest president ever, or whatever the fuck. So, he wants something to hang his hat on as well. So, people say he didn't get sold on it. People say that he did get sold on it. I believe he got sold on it and he wanted to take credit for it. So perfect equation there. To sucker him in to do the war in Iran. And now it's exactly where I would have expected it to be.
I think did a massive study in which they traced every interstate war, right? Wars between states since 1815. The average length of such an interstate conflict is
All right. Have a good one, Anna.
Between 4 to 5 months. If it lasts longer than that, see Vladimir Putin's aggression and invasion of Ukraine, it's a multi-year enterprise. And what that shows to me, the majority of these conflicts don't last long because, the uplifting thought of the day, people realize that war is not really a functional objective to get you what you want. It causes pain, it causes dislocation. No. But the problem here is, you have two examples. Vladimir Putin, we're now in the 5th year of the Russia-Ukraine war. He cannot break Ukraine. Donald Trump, now beginning the 6th month of this war, cannot break Iran. And it shows, and that's why President Xi must be thinking carefully about what his intentions and capacities are with respect to Taiwan. Big powers trying to break the resolve of small ones for whom the stakes are existential. They're very complicated. So I'd like to answer your question about where this goes or how long it's going to last. But right now I can't, because we don't have what the political scientists call the herding stalemate, which occurs when both sides realize time is not on their side. Both sides realize, yes, they can escalate, but it's not going to help. And finally, both sides begin to feel pain.
Surely there's going to be some international pressure as well, because this is going to get the oil prices going up again. here domestically in the UK. That is
and you could argue and say, well, just bomb the shit out of Iran, get it over with. Oil prices through the fucking roof, man. Like, yeah, running in circles, yes. Like, if you escalate this further, Iran will just go full fucking boom. All right, launch everything. Everything, every fucking major oil refinery, oil field on fire. On fucking fire. And it's not just them, right? It'll be Yemen as well. Yemen, who has been Ansar Allah, the Houthi, have been recently targeted Saudi Arabia's oil fields. That shit was on fire for days. It was on fire for fucking days, and that was just one strike that they did.
Situation that our new prime minister wants,
and that wasn't even Iran themselves.
Well, we're 6 months in, right? Let's take a look at the three main power centers. The Chinese have basically restricted their imports. They have renewables. They're burning coal. I think frankly, you would have thought.
Yeah, self-destruct mode. I mean, if you're gonna lose everything, then yeah, it's self-destruct mode. We're going down with them too. And when I say we, I mean me and you, the people that have to go to work and fucking pay for grocery bills and gas prices and everything. Everybody's going down.
Hydrocarbon imports come from Iran and or Saudi Arabia, and the straits are basically blocked. You'd think the Chinese would pressure the Iranians. The answer is no. Or what about Vladimir Putin? Well, every time the price of oil goes up, he begins to try to close his staggering budget deficit. For Putin, this isn't a bad place. So now you come to the three powers, I guess, that Trump cares about. The Brits, the French, and the Germans. Maybe that's right. They're not going to have any influence on him. None. Zero.
And just lastly, Aaron, if you had 10 seconds in a lift with Donald Trump to try and resolve this situation as a diplomat, what would you say?
I'd say, look, you're going to have to surrender to the realities of geography. These Iranians have weaponized geography. And it seems to me that if you want out, you're going to have to cut the best deal you can with respect to the Straits.
Yeah, like you can't invade Iran also on foot. Like,
companies will pay
it's a mountain range.
Export surcharge probably at the oil producers.
Right off the coast.
But there's no other way out unless you want to do a Bush 43 and deploy hundreds of thousands of Americans to a country 4 times the size of Iraq and twice the size of Afghanistan. Because you cannot make this regime capitulate or surrender without a level of military involvement, including the deployment of ground forces.
That's what the testosterone shots are for? Hiking times for the boys and girls? Yeah. I thought they were just because Pete Kegsworth was low T.
Which would essentially...
Yeah, we tried Afghanistan, didn't work out very well. Iran is going to be worse, yes.
Force you in.
I mean, and then for him to mention that like Iran is significantly larger than, Iraq and Afghanistan, like on top of that, geographically, like mountainous terrain, like you'd have to do a ground invasion on the coastal cities. And then like if you do a ground invasion, those missiles that they're launching at other countries, they have shorter range missiles versions of those. So
into a long
not a good situation
occupation. So cut the best deal you can and convince the shivers.
And this is the other thing, right? Cut the best deal you can. Like the deals that have been proposed, the memorandum of understanding and like all the other like ceasefire agreements, they are more favorable to Iran than the Obama era nuclear deal. Yeah, you land on the coast, see the Lord. Exactly.
And the oil exporters to find alternate means of oil infrastructure to bypass the Straits of Hormuz. They're doing it already. And that seems to me to be the future. You take Iran's card away from them by essentially marginalizing this particular international transit point. It's going to take several years, a lot of commitment.
It'll take a very long time.
But I think it can be done and it should be done.
Aaron David Miller, thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. This war has been a total shit show. How do you get out of it? There's two ways to win a war, right? Either complete domination, or negotiations. And if it's not going to be complete domination, which it cannot be, then you're going to have to enter negotiations. And problem is, you got this guy. He doesn't want, again, he wants something to hang his hat on. He wants to say, I won. And even though he's continuously said I've won since like day one, basically, nobody sees it and nobody believes him. So that's going to be, the downfall of his quagmire here is himself. Yeah. All right. What else we got?
Even mean? This looks less like the feeling of making.
Oh yeah, another one from the Trump administration. Yeah, I won my ass. Yeah.
Making education great again and more like you took one too many gummies. But beyond that, is education really great again? Only 54%.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all saw this video that the Department of Education posted.
What the f is this? Why is the official Department of Education account posting AI slop? And what does it even mean? This looks less like the feeling of making education great again and more like you took one too many gummies. But beyond.
Also, didn't Trump defund the Department of Education? Like, isn't that going out the window now?
That, is education really great again? Only 54% of Americans read at a 6th grade reading level. I don't know about you, but I would not consider myself in 6th grade great. About 40% of students across the nation cannot read at a basic level. Only 22% of 12th graders are proficient at math. Only 14% of 13-year-olds are reading for fun, down from 37% 34 years ago. Translation? This is patently not great. All this while the Waluigi to Princess Diana, former WWE executive turned Secretary of Education Linda McMahon, has gutted the department and is pushing AI use heavily in schools.
They spend the first couple of hours with AI, and then the rest of the day they are implementing things that they've learned. It is remarkable.
According to a new study, 90% of students now use AI. However, AI just enables our children to not think for themselves and lose critical thinking skills. As one kid said, it's easy. You don't need to use your brain. The Trump administration is clearly pushing AI, which in turn will leave our kids unable to think clearly, making an already bad situation worse. Without critical thinking skills, kids might think that this is a real dog, really singing while surfing. And is that great?
We're fucking... Yeah, we need to rebuild, definitely. All right, what else do I have? Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, we'll go... Did I have? No. All right, yeah.
I don't think I can ever retire.
There's no way anybody can live off this money for the
seems
private equity is gambling with your 401k. I wonder what they're investing in.
It's the talk of the town.
President Trump wants
I don't think I'm making it to retirement, guys. I think I'm just going to die.
Sign an executive order today to allow private assets and crypto into 401ks.
Last year, DJ Tump Orange Shoop But Never Fruity, always reppin' mighty, signed this executive order, opening up your 401k to private equity, private credit, and crypto. And now that it's simmered in the background for a bit, this stew's ready. These last few months, the DOL has started creating a legal safety net for 401k and private asset managers to include riskier things in your retirement portfolio. What used to be legally dubious is now legally dope. But what does that mean? For uptight ninnies, it means we're, quote, risking financial crisis like taxpayer bailouts, and the 401k scheme bodes to be the successor to the 2008 mortgage crisis.
Oh.
That's according to, let me see, Robert Morris, founder of U.S. private equity group Olympus Partners. I like to think it means that we're in a new era, a fun era, an era in which all sorts of cool stuff can happen, like grandma getting booted from the nursing home when Fartcoin takes a dip. I like that. I think that's good. And I'm not alone.
I forgot Fartcoin's a real thing. It was a rug pull. I forgot this is a Blackstone video. Shit.
Good stuff. That was Blackstone. Thanks to these guys,
That's
your
officially on their
401k
YouTube
can now
page,
be
by the way. I
invested
forgot
in what are
about that video.
called alternative assets. After years of lobbying and just a little bit of extortion, they and their private equity and crypto buddies have finally landed their white whale and weaseled their way into a new corner of this wild, semi-aquatic jungle that is the American economy. A little corner that just so happens to be worth an estimated $9 to $10 trillion, and that probably concerns you directly. Now, in case you don't know, 401ks are retirement accounts sponsored by your employer that let you invest part of your paycheck pre-tax so you can have a little nest egg before you croak. Around 90 million Americans already have one, and up until now, they mostly invested in decently safe, diversified portfolios of publicly traded bond, mutual, and index funds.
90 million Americans, so that's all of them, right? That's all of us. 90 million?
Low-risk, predictable return investing. Now, your 401k could be invested in things like corporate takeovers, real estate, and best of all, crypto. Stuff that actually gets the blood pumping. You could already gamble on all this stuff before, but let me tell you, nothing beats the gambler's high of putting your retirement money on the line knowing that's it. Social Security is only going to cover around 40% of your pre-retirement income on average, and we just keep living longer. Meaning, these days, even rich blood boy swapping millionaires are worried about running out before the finish line. There's just something electric about needing your 401k to work out or being stuck putting everything from your basic expenses to your soon-to-be exploding healthcare costs on a fund that they keep threatening to cut every year and isn't even big enough to start with. Sadly, it didn't used to be like this. It used to be that you had a pension and you got your benefits every month until you died and it wasn't a big deal. But we'll get to that in a second. First, why are they even messing with this? Why this new executive order? My favorite wokes, private equity CEOs, say it's economic justice and we're long overdue for this. The rich have always been able to throw money into alternatives. It's discrimination against us lowly poors to be refused their most refined gambling. Then again, nobody knows what any of this is, or what all this stuff means. No, really. These are two investment choices offered in one New York Times columnist's 401k now that alternatives are getting mixed in. And he straight up doesn't know what's going on. This guy was a counselor to the Treasury Secretary.
There's 342 million Americans. I don't know why there's more than 220 or something are. Yeah, like basically what, like a quarter or a third of Americans are the only ones that have retirement plans that they have invested in. So the other 2/3 to 3/4 of Americans are just, I guess they just die. I don't know. Or just be poor.
Oh, hell no. What's up, dog?
What's up, dude?
Obama. And
Johnny makes me moist 6769. Very nice.
I know that doesn't mean a whole lot, but if he doesn't know what's happening, and he's not gonna pay some analyst at BlackRock to figure it out, what makes you think that you or your boss would? What makes you think that your grandma or grandpa would have any idea what to do with this? No, I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe you do. Maybe you know how to understand a mutual fund's public disclosure documents, daily price, and portfolio. All that information you need to be a prudent investor, and that thankfully, mutual funds are required by the SEC to disclose. That's not gonna matter anymore either. In part because of this executive order, your 401k is now increasingly likely to be invested in what are called CITs. These are kind of like mutual funds, except, and I'm quoting Bloomberg here, hardly anyone can tell you a thing about them. No one knows exactly how much money they can...
You get the...
Oh my God. As God is my witness, he is broken in half!
Just retire, get forced on the streets, and get a fist fight over a honey bun and die. That is the new retirement plan, yes.
Control, no one can say how it's all allocated, no single financial regulator is in charge of them. And thanks to the legal condom placed upon private equity's investing PP by the Trump administration, alternative asset managers may now transmit these CITs with impunity. But we probably don't need to worry. After all, this is an industry that prioritizes, quote, inordinate risk-taking strategy. I know I feel safe and smart for picking the strategy with higher risks and lower returns
Sounds like
than
some
just
shit my uncle
putting
went
my
through.
money in the S&P 500. Howdy friends, I've got a big surprise for you today, and I think you're really gonna like it.
I don't know you.
But this will be a slightly longer announcement, so as always, I want to make sure I respect your time. If you're not interested, you can skip ahead to this timestamp. You can always come back later.
I'm skipping ahead.
I hope you're excited to check it out. All right.
I don't know what it was, but yes.
So, what is the point? I've rambled for a good minute now about how this change isn't going to get us a bigger retirement, it isn't a safer investment strategy, and it isn't making things
But what
more
if it does?
What possible reason would there be for democratizing access to alternative assets? Well,
Probably won't.
there's the obvious answer. These guys lobbied so they can get more people through the door and charge them higher fees in what is a multi-trillion-dollar market. Ka-ching. Then there's the sad answer. We are bailing them out. Billionaires fucked up, and we are expected to save their asses.
Blue Owl experiencing elevated redemption requests for 2 of its private credit funds in the first quarter.
For months now, all these industries in the alternative asset market have been hurting. Private credit has been getting record redemption requests from their investors. Private equity's returns are at a 16-year low. Crypto has been free-falling for a year. Rich people of all stripes are desperately trying to pull their money out of all these bad investments, and they're finding out that they can't. PE, PC, and C don't actually have the exit liquidity needed for that. All their investments are stuck in companies and assets that no one wants to buy amid reports of massive bubbles in the AI space and a generally stagnating economy. Private equity, private credit, crypto, they're wealthy investors.
God damn, dude. Hey, is this good? Negative $50,000 in the last year?
They all need money, and they need it to come without any obligation
Buy
to
the
give
dip,
new
I
entrants
guess.
a decent return. They need a whole bunch of retirees, and that's why we're being fleeced. So, what's going to happen is that once they get their hands on our savings and they've paid back their rich friends first, they're going to go right back to doing what private equity has always done. Buying companies and laying people off. Buying rural hospitals and shutting them down. Buying psychiatric hospitals and denying patients essential services. Buying commercial fishing operations and overworking staff. Running private prisons detaining people for ICE, as well as airlines that deport immigrants on multi-day flights without food. And plenty more horrible stuff, I'm sure, from companies that recently dropped their climate pledges. These companies have, for years, done horrible shit with rich people's money. Now, this is what your retirement is going to be funding. Though, in truth, it has been for a long time. Before 401ks even got into the alternative asset game, private equity's been playing with trillions of dollars of savings.
I feel like
things
these
like
are,
pension funds.
I'm funding
So,
the man-made
really,
horrors beyond my comprehension.
This is nothing new. It's just worse. And again, it didn't used to be this way. Back when they first popped up, the first pension funds weren't chasing crazy returns. Many of them weren't even investing schemes at all. Just like Social Security, the first pensions were funded by having current workers paying for retirees with the expectation that the next generation was going to do the same. And when the first pensions started investing their money to get a little extra revenue stream for safety, it was incredibly limited to buying local, state, and federal bonds, i.e., making loans to the government. Very low risk with explicitly defined returns. 90% of public pensions were invested this way until World War II, and half of private pensions were too in the decade that followed, thanks to unions. This approach to retirement, 1, gave workers a lot of security, and 2, had the added benefit of creating a mutually beneficial relationship between workers and their governments. Buying bonds lets governments fund public services and infrastructure like schools and hospitals without raising taxes. So instead of retiring off the back of an immigrant being starved on a plane somewhere, you could retire in a community that you and your co-workers helped build. That all changed in the 70s because, just like today, Wall Street lobbied to get a cut of all this good money and changed the rules. Since then, pension funds have had to prioritize growth above anything else. And so, they slowly gave up public bonds. Now, we're here. This is the hellscape capitalism has wrought. Either you don't have a 401k or a pension and you're looking at some lean years ahead trying to make do with Social Security, or you do have a 401k and now you're financing the very industries that are shutting down your hospital, rug pulling your cousin, and, I'm just finding this out now, bringing child labor back.
I'm sorry, what? Blackstone-owned sanitation company ordered to stop using child labor. U.S. investigators allege workers as young as 13 employed in abattoirs in oppressive conditions.
Child labor back. I don't know how else to put this. These people are ghouls. There is just no winning without a socialist alternative to the scheme they've set up. We need an actual public safety net. We need to gut these parasitic companies out of existence. Because without working class people in power putting a stop to this, we just might not make it.
That's depressing. Yeah, you know, the argument has been like, oh, socialism's gonna fail. And you just gotta use other people's. We're using other people's money right now to gamble, and then fund fucked up companies that are fucking like deporting your neighbor, and putting putting little kids into fucking like manual labor jobs. The fuck, man. Oh, look, we're failing right now.
Sleeping like a motherfucker that does.
Oh yeah, this guy. Hold on. Yeah, reload.
25 years old, you get 25 years old, you get 6 hours of sleep. You're poor.
They want us to earn the privilege to sleep now, y'all. And what he goes on to say is even more silly.
You don't, do you or do you not have millions of dollars in the bank? You're sleeping like a motherfucker that does.
This is the natural outcome of the why'd you buy $10 coffees argument, which takes the basic kind of needs.
Why are you guys sleeping? You get like you got $1 million in the bank, huh?
Daring to spend our money, or in this case,
you got time to
on
rest.
Something they see like a luxury. In this case, sleep.
Still advocating for second sleep. Yeah, you know, like back in the day when like people like the 1800s, early 1900s, before like you know the workplace was like office-ified or whatever you want to call it, the 8 to 5 grind and whatnot. People used to work like early in the day, and then when it got really hot, everybody would like take a nap. And like I think France still does this, or UK still does this. Everybody go home, take a nap, come back later, finish your shift.
The natural outcome of capitalism.
Second sleep. Yeah.
Right? The natural encroachment upon the worker's time. And this is sold to you as a self-help thing to entrepreneurs or people that want it really bad. But think about what it's actually saying. Unless you're rich, you don't even deserve to sleep for 6 hours. That's 2 hours less than is suggested. And I don't even want to go into the health effects. This happens to our whole life. And it is very similar to what the boomers are saying about coffee or luxuries or eating out. You don't deserve anything nice because you're poor. It is the moralization of the basic needs and even tiny luxuries of our life. When what we should be saying, and would be correct in saying, is we damn well deserve so much more than we are being paid. Our productivity has gone through the roof, and you are stealing billions of dollars off of our back. And one of the most insidious moves the capitalists have had is instead of making open that those are antagonisms, they are trying to confuse the workers into believing that it is actually them wanting to give up their sleep to be paid more. It is actually them wanting to give up their nice little coffees to have better financial literacy. It is a personal value to sacrifice for the capitalists, because of course, otherwise you don't want it otherwise. And before motherfuckers get in the comments that he's saying this only to entrepreneurs who own their own business, no, he's not, right? This propaganda isn't just to them. And also most people, even that he's speaking to, won't be that. And also, if even you are an entrepreneur of a very small business, by and large, you are working for venture capitalists. Your actual relationship with capital is one of a worker, not an owner, at least yet. And so you are still selling your labor, qua labor, to those capitalists, and they are telling you that you don't deserve your basic luxuries or needs unless you are working as hard as a dog for them.
25 years.
Sleeping like you got $1 million in the bank. What's wrong with you? Sleeping like you got Xbox money. Xbox costs $800 now for the good one, at least. Same thing for the PlayStation. I think the PS5 Pro is like $850 or something like that. I don't know. I forgot. I bought mine refurb when it was like $400, I think. I broke the bank on that one. Yeah, what the fuck is happening to the video games industry?
Depending on what you actually count as a video game, the industry is now generating somewhere between $200 and $350 billion a year in annual revenue, making it by far the largest entertainment sector in the world, regardless of whatever your exact definitions may be.
The fuck
More
shit
people are
is
playing
what?
video games than ever before. They are playing them for longer, and the not-so-secret reality is that video game companies have gotten a lot better at getting money out of them while they are. The vast majority of revenue in this industry now comes from in-game purchases and advertising, even amongst games that already have an upfront purchase cost.
Guys, I've spent way too much money on Marvel Rivals skins. It's embarrassing. But it is kind of like the only game that I play. And also, like, I already have a very large video game collection. Like, actually, I bought like this. Like, check this out. This is my 3DS games are like right here. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, I busted out the 3DS, so I've been like, I was like, man, I got all these games I never finished. So, going back and gonna finishing Luigi's Mansion on 3DS. It's pretty cool. I also have a Vita, like the PlayStation Vita. You remember this guy? Turn on. Oh. It's dead. Thought I charged it. I did not. Playing Tearaway is pretty cool. Never finished it. So, but anyways, yeah, I haven't really bought a lot of new games. I'm sad I learned the PSP can't connect to the store or USB connect to the PS3. The PS3 store is still live. The PS3 and the PS Vita store are still live until next year, when they will be shut down. What you could do, though, if you want to buy PSP games legit, I think, is you can buy them through the PS3 store and then USB connect it to your PSP to your PS3. I believe that still works. I hooked up my PS3 over here. I hooked up my PS3. I was telling you about that the other day. But I haven't. I tried, can't do it. Fuck. All right. Well, I'll try that later and see what happens. Did you ever play The Puppeteer on PS3? I'm going through that and I realize I'm only like a quarter of the way through the game. Did that all morning today? That's crazy, man. That sucks. Well, I guess the only thing left to do now is just bootleg the PS3, run emulators on it. I mean, bootleg the PSP. Software update negated USB connect. That's crazy. I mean, there's still ways you can do like emulators and firmware, custom firmware and stuff. Disappointing.
Cost or a recurring subscription. Now, obviously this hasn't been great for gamers, but at least a growing user base of people playing longer, spending more, and getting advertised to all across more platforms has been good for the shareholders,
We're
right?
gonna find physical media secondhand? Yeah, me too.
Some of the largest companies in the industry have experienced huge stock declines, multiple rounds of restructuring, narrowly avoided bankruptcy, mass layoffs, and divestitures over what should have been the best half-decade in the
Dude, I just bought Tatsunoko versus Capcom. It was a game on the Wii. It was a fighting game. It used the Marvel versus Capcom 3 engine before it was released. Basically, they used it for that. But I just bought the fighting stick for it for the Wii. But there's a game, Talk-On Fighters, Marvel Talk-On that's coming out like this week. I really want to play that. I'm getting my PS2 fixed and cords for my GameCube. Hell yeah!
History of the industry, the overall market
this shit sucks.
It is down by as much as 30% from its peak, in the same time that the broader market has more than doubled. So, how is it possible that even with record sales, record new revenue streams, record numbers of new players, and record new opportunities to monetize that new audience, video game companies have still...
Fighters. Yeah, I want to, since I've been playing Rivals a lot, and I've gotten pretty good, at dive characters, and everybody's like, oh, well, if you play dive characters, like the melee characters, you're basically just playing a fighting game. And I'm like, okay, well, I've gotten pretty good at playing, those characters. What if I just played a fighting game? Which I never really got good at. I was okay at, most fighting games. I think Tekken was, the one where I tried to invest a lot of time, and I still got my ass whooped, whenever I went to go, actually play against people. I used to play a lot of King of Fighters, too. King of Fighters 10. And I got pretty good at that, but then, I just burned out on it. But yeah, I think I'm going to invest some time into Marvel Talk-On.
Managed to screw this up so badly.
Video game maker Electronic Arts announcing a $55 billion deal to go private in what is set to be the largest leveraged buyout deal.
Who do they sell to?
History.
More than 150 million Americans are estimated to play video games. 60% of them do so every day.
Xbox is playing with fire, putting ads, a mobile gaming tactic, into their platform.
Electronic Arts and Take-Two Interactive both make a staggering 75% of their money from what's called microtransactions.
Yeah, the Spider-Man suits are badass.
Microsoft announcing it is cutting about 4,800 jobs, or roughly 2.1% of the company's global workforce. The layoffs include 1,600 Xbox workers, with more expected later this year.
So, like every good shameless business video essayist, I am going to try and make what should be a pretty basic industry analysis into something bigger and more grandiose than it probably actually is, including the standard issue commentary on society itself. So, you've been warned, I guess. But in this case, there genuinely are a few factors beyond just a handful of companies making a long list of dumb decisions to create the worst of times in what should be the best of times. So, the logical place to start is that long list of dumb decisions. Video game companies have seen that their product involves software, people coding, and development cycles, and concluded that they are basically just tech companies. They have also seen that they have IP, storylines, and fans, and have concluded that they are media companies. Conveniently, tech companies are worth lots of money. So, a lot of the businesses in this space were happy to go in this direction thinking it would translate into tech-level valuations. And for a while, it did. But in the end, what they actually ended up doing was combining the worst lessons of the tech industry with the worst lessons of the media industry. The first was that they overhired in 2020 and 2021 during lockdowns, assuming that the pandemic boom in new gamers would go on forever. Examples like Epic Games swelled to around 5,000 employees along the way. This led to the current wave of layoffs, especially since layoffs are contagious in tech. Nobody's stock gets punished for cutting staff in the same quarter that everybody else is cutting staff. Industry trackers count around 45,000 gaming jobs cut between 2022 and the middle of last year, 14,600 of them in 2024 alone, and the rounds have kept coming through this year. The second problem with trying to emulate tech companies was the obsession with making acquisitions. Microsoft in particular has gone on a massive spending spree acquiring studios to create the Netflix of gaming. They spent $7.5 billion for ZeniMax and then $68.7 billion for Activision Blizzard, the largest acquisition in the history of the industry, alongside a bunch of smaller studios to build out their Game Pass offering. Now, even regular streaming services outside of Netflix have struggled with financial viability, and the same kind of model
they had to cut their price of Game Pass almost in half.
Video games struggled particularly hard for reasons we will.
I didn't even read this. Yeah, Microsoft increases Xbox Game Pass by 50%.
The point for now is that by the time this shopping spree wrapped up, Microsoft's gaming division alone stood at 22,000 people. As they started struggling with returns and questions from their corporate overlords, they also followed the same model of product and shitification, especially amongst games with a locked-in audience. Game Pass Ultimate got a 50% price hike in a single announcement late last year. and Xbox itself has also a product and shitification, especially amongst games with a locked-in audience. Xbox itself has now announced 3 separate console price rises in 15 months, which I am told will be devastating for the 3 people still looking to buy one. Beyond just Microsoft, the whole industry is playing a game of eat or be eaten, with 189 M&A deals in the industry in 2025 alone, according to the investment bank Drakestar, worth a record $161 billion, around 14 times the deal value of the year before. To be fair, this was pushed up considerably by the $55 billion Electronic Arts buyout led by the Saudi Public Investment Fund, which is the largest all-cash leverage buyout ever recorded in any industry, assuming regulators actually let it close.
Hey, if Saudi Arabia goes through some sort of economic crisis because like Iran blows up all their shit, how's that? Is that going to affect Electronic Arts? Is that going to affect video games?
Which, well, they probably will. More acquisitions have also furthered the trend of layoffs, as a lot of the time, these companies are just interested in the IP, not the development teams themselves. Embracer Group, an investment and holding company, rolled up more than 130 studios before their money ran out. The resulting unwind involved cutting around 4,500 employees and closing 44 studios. Around 80 projects just got cancelled outright, while the surviving franchises got packaged into a new company for a fresh stock listing. In such a rapidly growing space, they assumed the Silicon Valley spend money and they will come mindset would work here as well. In hindsight, it clearly hasn't worked out. But, well, why were they wrong? Well, a few reasons. The first is that a lot of gamers aren't actually gamers. They are just people who happen to play a video game, which might sound like the world's sweatiest gatekeeping, but I am certainly in this category as well. In the early 2000s, gaming was still a fairly niche hobby, particularly focused on younger people, primarily men, on gaming consoles, and an even more niche group that played on their PCs. In this time, online gaming was still in its infancy, and most people had a drawer full of titles they would play through depending on what they felt like. The primary content of these games was a campaign or a simple gameplay loop. That has obviously changed. Over the past 20 years, even though the number of titles and players kept going up, the number of games people actually spend their time in went down. While making this video, I looked back through my old binder, and there were at least 20 games that I would play on any given year in rotation. Today, I play 2 games, and while I would like to make an excuse like I am getting old and just have more responsibility these days, the truth is I probably spend longer playing these games in any given week than I did playing all of these. Beyond the personal anecdote, this is a documented trend across the wider industry. Unlike other media like music or movies, people can commit far more time to consuming a video game. And live service games and a multiplayer focus can extend that time commitment to basically infinite. The only real limitation is the number of hours people have in a day, and an increasing share of those hours are being spent on forever games. Despite recent trends and understandable complaints, video gaming is still largely a very cost-effective...
Destiny died, you know, because they didn't support the PvP mode, and then like the PvE modes just kind of went downhill. That was my forever game for a long time. I think for like the whole time that it was good. Whew.
Form of entertainment. Wow. But the limit new games are running into is not that their customers are running out of money to spend, it's that they are running out of time to spend, as most of their hours are already accounted for. According to Newzoo's playtime tracking, in 2024, 57% of total playtime was spent on games 6 or more years old. A further 32% on games 1 to 5 years old, and only 12% on games released that year. Back in 2021, those older games were only taking 39% of playtime. That share has climbed 18 points in 3 years. For
Dude, the raids were so much fun. Like when you got a team that was actually good at the raid, you fly through that motherfucker and like have a good time. And then like the drops, like, you know, RNG drops, everything's RNG. It was some good times. Yeah. It was also some bad times.
This trend is even more concentrated amongst older gamers, with 67% of playtime going to 6-year-old games.
I had a blast though. Like we would get on like on the weekends and just do PvP like the entire night, like 6-man. And then when it got down to like 3 people, would go just do like Trials of Osiris. Like that was so much fun, dude.
Even though they theoretically have a wider selection of independent new releases at significantly lower prices than console games. An extreme example of this is that one of the writers here at Works Media, not pointing any fingers, has over 10,000 hours playing League of Legends, and an otherwise totally neglected library full of Steam games. The top 5 titles on PC accounted for 30.4% of all hours on their own, and Fortnite by itself was 9.3% of all track playtime across PC and console combined. So, while in theory the total addressable market is better than ever, most of these studios are actually just fighting over a shrinking pile of scraps. Industry analyst Matthew Ball estimated that outside of annualized franchises, thousands of games backed by tens of billions of dollars were competing for around 5.6% of total player hours, and 4 titles won half of it. So yeah, the industry has basically broken into studios that have managed to create a hit game and they are just milking it, and studios taking huge risks on the hope that they can produce the next one.
Marathon, Concord failed, Helldivers is okay, Helldivers 2. I played that on stream here a while back. It's still a fun game in my opinion. Marathon, I own it. It ain't Destiny. It ain't Destiny PvP mode either. Like peak Destiny like PvP was a lot of fun. Marathon, no, it's not. It's a task. It's like you integrated the raid mechanics and like PvE aspects into the PvP mode, and now it's just a job. And then you die.
It's just simply much harder to sell a casual $70 game these days, which has created some much more serious downstream problems. So it's time to learn how money works to find out how the gaming industry is imploding under the weight of its best years ever. This video is sponsored by Monarch. If you have ever tried to track your money across
Thank you. Great advertising.
Okay, so gamers are basically barricaded inside the same 5 games they have been playing for a decade, which has led many studios to conclude that the only logical move is to create the next big live service game or die trying. This has created a trend of massive games with limitless features put together by huge teams with enormous budgets. The problem is that if these games fail to break through, they become extremely expensive dead weights. This also means that even at full price, a lot of these titles can't make their money back on unit sales alone, so they are leaning more on in-game purchases and in-game advertising. If these never eventuate, because I
don't know what I'm reading there.
More on in-game purchases.
Zillow launches Zillow for Warcraft, a new way to explore World of Warcraft homes?
And in-game advertising. If these never eventuate, because nobody ends up spending that much time in the game, losses can be devastating even with decent upfront sales. And of course, it's a lot worse without them. Sony spent 8 years and a reported $200 million on developing Concord, their big shooter answer to Overwatch. It sold an estimated 25,000 copies, and the servers were switched off 2 weeks after launch with full refunds all around. Warner Brothers did the same thing with their Suicide Squad game, which missed so badly that the company disclosed a $200 million hit to earnings. And then they did it again a few months later with a $100 million write-down, mostly pinned on multiverses. Now, I know it's fun to point and laugh, but it's going to keep happening. Because of the network effect of these games, the results are increasingly polarized. They are either a smash hit or a monumental failure. People want to play games with their friends, so they play the games their friends are playing. And if their friends aren't playing a given game, they probably won't either. Helldivers 2 are a Marvel Rivals.
There's Marvel Rivals. Marathon. Like I said, I played Destiny for like 10 years, right? I got a lot of people on my friends list that play Destiny. 3 people play Marathon. 3. The conversion ratio is not good. It's not good. On the other hand, I just switched over to Marvel Rivals. Once I started getting good at it, I was like, okay, this is the game for me. I'm just gonna play this. I like Overwatch also. I can play Overwatch. I've been playing a decent amount of Overwatch. I think I'm like platinum right now, in ranked. But I want to get to diamond because I want the Doomfist skin. But I don't really want to play Overwatch too much. Also, it takes time away from me playing Rivals.
Even something like Among Us and Mecha Chameleon have broken through, and they are printing money from people who want something to play with their friends, But that self-reinforcing concentration means everything else is running a greater risk of becoming another Concord. But the problem is now, even if they do find a cash cow, there is an incentive to milk it until it curdles to find the next mega development.
There's
Sony paid
Destiny.
3.6
Yeah.
incentive to milk
I didn't even think about the Destiny logo. It's right there.
it until it curdles to find the next mega development. Sony paid $3.6 billion for Bungie in 2022, then tapped Destiny as hard as they could to fund the development of Marathon, and then Marathon flopped as well. Sony has now written down around
$765 million loss? Oh my god. I bought the game, and I bought the first season pass and played it for like a few weeks, probably longer than I wanted to play it, and then like it pissed me off, and I was like, fuck this game. Like I was trying to have fun, like running around as the Rook, which is a like it's kind of like a hero shooter. Basically, you have different class characters that do different things, and like the Rook is the character where you can just drop into games randomly. You don't have to be on a team. Well, the whole point is you're not on a team, and you're basically just a scavenger. It's like the scavenger class. And so like you come across, dead bodies and you pick up their loot, and like whatever loot people left, because you can't carry all of it, right? Whatever loot they left, well then you pick that up and you run away with it, and then you run into other Rooks or you run into other teams, and like sometimes they'll kill you. Usually they will. But if you can escape, then you escape with like good loot. And so it was kind of fun. And then like every time I ran into somebody, I was trying to be funny, and like, because there's like try to like interact with other people. Like they would just shoot you. Like it's annoying. And so it's like, I don't really want to play this, and it's not that fun. Didn't the actor from Game of Thrones not come back as your little AI robot? Yeah, he the Dinklebot. Yeah, he did not. He didn't come back. No. We got the guy that played Nathan Drake instead.
$166 million on that studio in a single fiscal year. Destiny 2 got its final content update last month, and about half of Bungie has been laid off. Even the biggest winner of them all is slowing down. Fortnite engagement has been falling since 2025. Epic laid off over 1,000 people this year, saying that they were spending significantly more than they were
making. The rookie cop, yeah.
And we have to make major cuts to keep the company funded. This heavy push towards live service games that dominate people's time and drive recurring spending also means that people are increasingly treating games as a social outlet. Potentially, you might even say some modern version of a third place. As such, and hot take alert, a lot of people don't really want something new. They want something familiar.
Video games, for me, like, is the third place. Yes.
Friends like to hang out in common environments.
And it has been for a very long time.
As the average gamer gets older, now 36 years old in America, that becomes even stronger. This trend of playing fewer games...
Average age of today's game player is 36 years old. 60% of adults ages 18 and up play video games every week, and the average of today's player is now 36 years old.
Especially as the average gamer gets older, now 36 years old in America, that becomes even stronger. This trend of playing fewer games but playing them for much longer also explains the challenges that came with the subscription services.
I wasn't a multiplayer kind of guy.
In theory, a modest monthly subscription.
I mean, I really wasn't a multiplayer, like PvP kind of player until like Destiny PvP. That's when I found it to be fun. But like, I remember playing like SOCOM back in the day, like on PS2. I just get my ass kicked over and over and over and over. But I did do like competitions when I was a kid. Like I won like the Donkey Kong Country competition. I forgot what else I played. But yeah, those were, I mean, not necessarily multiplayer, but Gears of War online, I think I played like 5 rounds of it, and I was like, that's too much. Mainly because my Wi-Fi growing up wasn't the best, since I'm so rural. Yeah, you have to have a really good connection if you want to be really good. Top tier, equipment and whatnot, especially if you're on console.
Access to a massive library of games was a great deal, and probably more cost-effective than getting a similar selection of content through something like Steam. The problem was that people were only playing a small selection of games anyway, so having access to hundreds of titles didn't really mean much when they were only actually playing 2 of them. Microsoft reportedly set itself an internal target of 77 million Game Pass subscribers by this year. Again, assuming that this was just another streaming service or tech offering, this wasn't completely unreasonable. In reality, it got to 34 million, tried that 50% price hike from earlier to squeeze more out of the subscribers it did have, and promptly lost around 4 million of them.
Yeah.
Now, of course, this is a generalization. Everybody spends their time differently, and if you are personally someone that likes to try a new title every month, congratulations, you are probably having a lot more fun than everybody else. But for everybody else, there is one place left to actually find extra hours in people's day.
I was PlayStation, my friends were Xbox, and I just didn't get into PC, which in retrospect should have made that investment. I've always been PlayStation, honestly, when playing multiplayer. I did play Xbox for a while, but the Xbox games that I played were mostly single player games. I don't think I just didn't. I didn't like talking to people on Xbox. PlayStation was always more friendly. At least that's how it was for me.
Mobile. People just spend more time on their phones than sitting down at a dedicated PC or console to do gaming. This becomes particularly true for the filthy washed masses of more casual gamers. The share of direct mobile game revenue is now bigger than PC and console combined. $103 billion last year against $86 billion for the other two put together. Now, you probably already knew all this, but the point is that this can be a lot more lucrative, because mobile games are generally much simpler in design and development and also have a system more naturally conducive to microtransactions. Often, payment can be handled through the same phone that people are playing on, which strips out the transaction friction that games on other platforms have to fight through. Again, this is well documented. But if studios are going to choose a proper game for real gamers, there needs to be a very good commercial reason why they wouldn't spend the same resources on building dozens of games for a much larger, more lucrative market. The only real justification is the chance at making the next big live services game. On the other end of the development spectrum, it's never been easier for independent studios or even individual people to create their own game, and publish it thanks to robust game engines in platforms like Steam or even Roblox. But this means that basic indie games are an incredibly crowded space with immense competition. More than 19,000 games were released on Steam.
Like, they released, our phones can't even handle the games for phones. Yeah, planned obsolescence is kind of ruining mobile gaming, in my opinion. There's a game, Destiny Rising, that I did invest a few bucks into that because I was like, oh, this is really fun. Nobody plays it. It kind of sucks that nobody plays it. It's a very good rendition of Destiny, but nobody playing it.
Last year alone, and nearly half of them got fewer than 10 user reviews. To differentiate themselves, game companies have felt the need to create significantly higher-end titles that wouldn't be possible for smaller teams to put together. This has created a missing middle of games that are caught above the indie selection
I didn't think
in
people
terms of
actually
features,
played that,
but aren't monster AAA titles that cost more than Avatar to make. Court documents filed by Activision revealed that Black Ops Cold War cost around $700 million to develop before marketing, despite, well, let's be honest, not really being that much different from any other COD games released in the last 10 years. In the past, studios could try to create a consistent roster of decent games. If one of them did well, that was great. If one of them flopped, that wasn't ideal, but it wasn't crippling. Today, even the biggest studios are kind of going all in on the success of their next release with very little margin of error if it doesn't work out. Now, to play devil's advocate a bit here, betting big is not totally irrational when one Fortnite can pay for 20 flops. But the problem is that everybody is making that same bet at the same time into the same fixed pool of player hours. The frustrating part is that when anybody actually funds the middle, it can still work. Expedition 33 was made by a core team of around 30 people for under $10 million, sold 5 million copies in its first 6 months, and swept the Game Awards. It obviously can work, but I guess you also need to actually make a good game, which capital investment alone can't guarantee. And even if it does, it's probably going to get ripped off anyway. So yeah, the third big issue is clearly one that is not unique to gaming. If you ever see a YouTube video that does well, you can be pretty sure that there will be 20 other videos that copy it in the coming months, because making an original YouTube video normally takes a fair amount of time and effort, and if it doesn't do well, it can cause serious problems. Copying a video is easy. It comes with some guarantee of success. That's the exact reason why I've decided to mix things up and steal the Smoothie King's talking points and thumbnail for this video. Now hopefully it goes without saying that I am joking. I will always leave a link in the description below, and we mostly discuss different things. But the point is, this clearly happens everywhere on YouTube as people just naturally follow basic incentives. The same is true 10 times over for video games. Any game that does well is going to be copied by dozens of people with tools that make basic game design relatively simple. This is especially the case with people porting paid indie games into Roblox for free with inbuilt microtransactions. Last summer, Peak, one of Steam's best-selling games of the month, got cloned on Roblox almost immediately. The copy pulled in 6 million visits in about 2 weeks, monetized with Roblox's own microtransaction system, while the studio that actually made the game got nothing. The game developers said that they would rather you pirate their game than play the microtransaction-riddled Roblox slop ripoff, which is a sentence an actual game studio felt the need to post in 2025. Roblox is running 132 million daily users and 31 billion hours of engagement every quarter, which the same Matthew Ball from earlier estimates is about the same engagement as Steam, PlayStation, and Fortnite combined. Now obviously this is bad, but the point is for large studios, it further means that they need to make games with some kind of moat around them to defend against obvious ripoffs. And the easiest one is to make something too complex to copy, and then integrate recognizable IP in addition to some guarantee of players being around for consistent online multiplayer. Now, it sounds bad, but it gets worse because this has literally already happened before. The last time this industry drowned itself in cheap copies of whatever it was selling, it was 1983, and the American home video game market fell by around 97% in 2 years. So yeah, I'm not exactly going to feel bad for the big gaming companies. They have made plenty of their own mistakes and have leaned into anti-consumer practices to compensate for their own failing. But it's not been an easy time to be a game studio either. Now, if you want to see this whole dynamic play out on a wider scale, go and watch this video next to unpack the financial reasons we keep on making so much junk. And don't forget to like and subscribe to keep on learning how money works.
Good video. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, let's go straight to AI stuff. Did we see this? Man cannot comprehend the genius of AI driving. Anyway, slightly related. Flock. Flock my wife. What?
No. No. She's not here either. Oh, hey students. I'm just over here trying to see if I can locate my wife. Yeah, she's supposed to be walking back from work right now, but I don't see her anywhere on these hacked Flock cameras. And that's why we need more Flock cameras. Flock's AI-enabled street cameras see backlash across the country. Yeah, you know what these things are, right? Well, tough shit, because I'm going to play this video that explains it anyway.
Here in Pasadena, California, residents and city leaders grapple with what to do about Flock, the leading manufacturer of automated license plate readers, or ALPRs.
That's not all they do. They film people, too. Like my sneaky little wife.
So this is above and beyond the license plate detection, and you can see that it sort of follows him in the shot.
Oh, cool. See, yeah, I want to do that, but to my wife. All the time.
We got a behind-the-scenes look at how Flock technology is being used.
Oh, nice. I should probably learn this. So give me 1 sec.
That camera network is hooked up to the Department of Justice, so the stolen vehicle system. It could be an armed robbery car, carjacking, a murder vehicle.
Could be my wife.
If we remove this technology, it's going to be a big detriment to public safety.
All right, well, I'm sure we all agree with the cop here. And to prove it, let's take a look at the comments. With all the current injustices, the least we need is more surveillance.
It's in Allentown, PA. They're everywhere.
Yeah, this is turning into surveillance and control.
I support ICE, but I don't like Flock. I do want to live in a surveillance state.
It's called Flock. So where's the sheep? Oh, never mind.
You're
they don't
the
like it.
sheep, bro.
Oh, that's not going to help me find my wife. This
That They're so close. They're like so close to getting it. They're just like right there, right?
Comment, Mike. Hey, can someone come over and help me flock my wife? I mean, maybe I could watch you do it first and see how it's done. I just get really worried whenever she leaves the house. What if she's lying to me about where she's been? That would be my worst nightmare, confirmed. And yeah, if that's happening, then I have to know, which is why I have to watch her. I tried becoming a cop so I'd have access to all the flocks, but turns out my middle and high school grades were still too good for that job. Those guys are so lucky getting to flock all the time whenever they want. Wish they'd flock my wife. Maybe if I make friends with one of them first, so long as I never have to go over their house and pretend not to notice their wife's black eye. Yep, and post.
Oh my God!
All right, well maybe my wife will be on this next surveillance camera and check. What? Robot?
What's up?
Do you
40%, man.
have a
40%.
camera on you by any chance?
Oh, this? Yeah, don't worry. That's just for license plates and stuff.
Okay, if you say so, I'll believe you. All right, well maybe I can turn flocking my wife into some good comment etiquette. Now you're probably wondering how I even have access to the flock cameras. Well, it turns out they're shockingly easy to hack. This massive police surveillance network is shockingly easy to hack. Yeah, see, told you, and play.
Yeah, so you have the Flock Falcon cameras. You turn those around, and there's a big button that lights up in the back. You can just push that button 3 times, and then it'll start blinking, and then a wireless access point is created. The password for that access point is in all lowercase. For every single camera that we've tried, it all has that hard-coded password.
Yeah, that's true. The password's you could do it to any of them, and you're in.
Then you just send it a command to enable ADB, which is Android's development environment, and then it's probably under 30 seconds. You can completely shell a device and have full access to it.
Now, we're not going to release the actual password.
The password is security, LMAO. You can delete my comment. I know you don't want it out there.
In the time since we interviewed Ben, he found another major security flaw. He was able to enter some keywords into a commercial search engine like Google and access the administrative back-end for dozens of flock cameras.
Oh, hell yeah. I can't wait to learn that one. That's going to make it real easy to flock my wife. All right, check this out. Hey, thanks a lot, asshole. You just cost me a ton of money. I played this video during a Bay Area ketamine orgy, and we all immediately stopped sucking each other to sell our private holdings at Flock. I was last to the punch and wound up losing all the money I've been saving up for Polymarket bets on when the Polymarket offices are going to get firebombed. We can bet on that, right? Because you can bet on everything else. We should be able to bet on whether the offices of Polymarket are going to get firebombed. It seems like a reasonable thing to bet on. Dude, if I can bet on like Iranian schools blowing up, I should be able to bet on the Polymarket offices getting firebombed. That's all I'm saying. But listen, man, I'm telling you, I had at least 3 venture capitalists inside of me like it was life-saving surgery, and this video just ruined the vibe. How are these dumb fucking cameras so easy to hack, huh? Well, I'll tell you why. It's because they're made in America. We can't even get mass surveillance right in this stupid country. Good news is my billionaire neighbors all banded together to import some Chinese tech that'll keep our little community watched at all times. Then we could go back to having open door fuck fest that people sometimes die at. Hey, you ever fall into a K-hole while wearing a Fortune 500 CEO's ballsack on your face like a sleep mask? I have, and it nearly killed my blood boy to recover the next day. Well, thank God that never got filmed, am I right? Anyway, hey, fuck you, I'm rich. Now go in your hole and eat some bugs. And that's how you do it. All right, well, back to seeing if I can flock my wife yet. Oh, what the? Hey, did someone just smash the camera? Who would do that? Oh, this guy just goes around breaking flock cameras. Well, that's not good etiquette. Oh, 30 cameras, come on, man, I need those. Oh, he's got a PayPal. Well, isn't that tied to a bank account? I mean, seems like this guy should be easy to catch. So let me just draw the FBI's attention over here with a couple choice keywords in the following comment. This was a real mail bomb of a video because it took me completely by surprise when I opened it. There's not enough energy in the United States power grid to show my exuberance for the way you execute these little missions. You look like the guy from Assassin's Creed. When it comes to great content, you are president of the club. Let me know when it's your birthday so I can bring you a slice of yellow box cake. Osama bin Laden suitcase nuke. Yo, JK, JK, JK. LA. But the K stands for killing and get in trouble. Okay, yeah, they'll be checking that one out for sure. And then they're gonna catch that guy and save all the flock cameras. But listen, the bad news is we still haven't found my wife. Let's not forget why we're here. So maybe I'll just jump into her favorite video game, see if she's playing right now. Hey dude, you wanna flock my wife with me?
Like whipping her? Like flogging her?
What? No, flock.
Flogging, like just whipping her.
Bro, I'm saying flock. Like the security cameras.
Did she do something bad? Does she deserve to be whipped?
What? No, dude, no one's getting whipped.
Y'all strange, bro.
No. We're not whipping anybody.
What part do you think she needs to be flogged at?
All right, this is getting weird. I'm gonna go find a new crew. Hey guys, has anyone seen my wife in this game?
Hey, what's she look like?
Well, I mean, she would just look like another player because we're in a video game, but this is her favorite server, so maybe she's here and then I can flock her.
Yeah, right. If you're flocked, to do some flocking, right?
Yeah, exactly, dude. So, all right, yeah, I think we got enough guys here to flock my wife.
We have enough people to flock his wife. I can't.
Hey guys, check it out. Trick shot.
Yo, are you? Oh, dear God, he just killed him!
Yeah, you guys like that?
Fuck it, dump on him, fuck him.
All right, come on, guys, let's go flock my wife.
Yeah, let's go find that guy's wife so we can flock her.
Let's flock the wife.
Permission granted.
Yeah, you see those tents? I think that she's over
Everybody
there, guys.
doing Niggy.
Oh, great. Oh, man. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yo, Niggy squad coming to hold it down. Where you bitch-ass motherfuckers at?
Yeah, we're looking for my wife. She better not be here.
And my nigga lost his wife, Niggy.
Just want to know where she is, guys. Oh, that's a guy. All right, clear. Now, how did you guys do up here? Oh, holy shit. So many bodies.
Hey, put the gun down. And where's his wife? Answer us.
Yeah, where's my wife?
Where's his wife? Put the gun down. Where's his wife?
Dude, where's my wife?
Oh,
wait, bro. I was gonna join U.S. team, but then
don't start fucking trying to negotiate. Where's his wife?
Buddy, it's a simple question. Do you want to flock my wife in front of me?
Oh, the guy behind you.
Oh, shit. Ah, that guy saved my life.
They got me, soldier.
Oh, bro, you got hit?
They got me.
Bro, quick, tell me where my wife is if you know. If you know, you gotta tell me, please.
I'll tell you where your wife is.
Yeah, my wife. Where?
You're supposed to flock with us.
Where is she? Oh, I'm getting shot. Oh. Well, there goes that. But it is interesting that it seems like I've created sort of a little Splinter Cell unit in this game where there's a bunch of guys obsessed with flocking my wife now. Here, check this out. Excuse me, you there, little boy. Where is my wife?
Wait, I can't hear you. What?
I said, where's my wife?
I can't hear you, boy.
I don't know where your wife is. With you? I don't know.
Then die.
That's crazy, dude.
Yes, good. Hey, whoa, what are you doing? No, don't undress the corpse of the child. That makes me look bad. Unfortunately, that was a huge waste of time, though, because my wife wasn't there. So I guess it's time to go back to the flock cameras. Let's see where this one's pointing. Nope, that's just today's ad.
How long is that? Oh my god.
Eric! You see, I'm a very jealous man, and I have a lot of free time. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing a lot of flock cameras where we live in LA, so I'm wondering what the problem is with their... LAPD ending deal with company operating license plate reading cameras.
LAPD uses flock cameras around the city, but today the department announced it is allowing its contract and agreement with the company to expire starting tomorrow.
Tomorrow? But that was 16 days ago.
Well, this contract's not being renewed because of serious concerns around civil liberty and civil rights issues, particularly around privacy and the data that's being collected from these cameras.
Good, I don't like flock cameras.
Most criminals don't. No surprise here, it's the city whose politicians love to support the criminals.
If you're not doing anything wrong, then why worry about it?
Protecting illegals that don't have their cars registered and tags.
LA continues on its way to becoming a hellhole for law-abiding residents and a paradise for criminals. The city should be identified as the city of devils.
Like, we just can't comprehend making society better by, like, believing that your fellow, like, citizen or, like, this person that like lives in your community, like should do well, because if somebody's doing better than you are, like as an American citizen, like you hate them. It's crazy. It's a crazy like train of thought. I don't. Somebody else like not obeying the law or whatever, like as far as like, you know, like what these comments are talking about, has nothing to do with me. Why should I get my, like, why should that concern me? I hate that bad people are doing well. Yeah. Like, and then you have like these like billionaires that are like ripping everybody off, like companies that purposely like do like just the most evil shit, and people are like, oh well, I guess they have the right to do that.
Instead of City of
Like
Angels.
that's okay.
Oh, thank God. All the smart people are showing up in this comment section. Let me add my voice to the chorus. Maybe LAPD realized it would be a detriment to have a dozen angles of them gunning down random pedestrians in the street. No, they like it when the surveillance camera is a part of their vest and has an off button. Now just wait till Flock comes back with an AI filter that removes all police officers from the footage. Then we're gonna get a lot of videos of prostitutes getting into the passenger.
Yeah, like if you got money to make a doomsday bunker, then actively making doomsday happen, then you shouldn't be well off.
Passenger seats of driverless squad cars, protesters' heads just spontaneously exploding out of nowhere, and battered wives being flung around by poltergeists. Who did it? I don't know. I didn't see anybody. And you know the neighbors won't say anything, or else a Molotov cocktail might float over to their house and launch itself through an open window. And that's just how I feel. And post.
I've reached out to Flock for a comment about this, and I am still awaiting a response.
Reach out to Flock, huh? Well, we can do that? Oh, we can do that. They have a YouTube channel.
What? They have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, well, hey, yo, big surprise, but the comments are turned off on this video. Weird that they wouldn't want to surveil that, but it's no sweat, because as we've learned on this show time and time again, comments are always enabled somewhere. Like on this older video where they forgot to turn the comments off. Inside LVMPD Fusion Watch.
Only 8 months ago.
Too many words.
We have what we call Fusion Watch, which uses a variety of technologies to combat crime and terrorism. We have Fusion Watch specialists, and these are people that are fighting crime virtually, and it's a new path to
They're fighting
policing
crime
than
virtually.
the standard of wearing a gun and a badge being in the field.
Do you have any controls for your fusion center to control for policing based on profiling by religion or race? How about abuse of the data collector to prevent the rising number of police officers illegally using the data and stalking people? Oh, shut up, nerd.
Having those systems connected together is what makes this whole virtual crime fighting mission so effective.
It's just empowered us to do things that were impossible before.
It would be great if it wasn't capable of being abused, and abused it will be and already has. Ed Snowden has proved it can and will be abused.
It's not just simply about using technology to catch bad guys, it's to do it in a way where the public feels comfortable.
Garbage. You guys are scum, you know that, right? Good place for that camera is up your arse. Traitors, treason, left and right need to rise up.
For a long time ago, I had a friend, and she was a dispatcher. I forgot what I told her. I was like, oh, so you work for the cops? He was like, why are you making me feel bad about being a dispatcher? I was like, I don't know, man. Just you know, like you send the guys with the guns to where people are that need help. Maybe not necessarily the help of a gun. But these people are what do they call them? The fusion, whatever the fucks. I don't know.
Already has. Ed Snowden has proved it can and will be abused.
It's not just simply about using technology to catch bad guys, it's to do it in a way where the public feels comfortable.
Garbage. You guys are scum, you know that, right? Good place for that camera is up your arse. Traitors, treason, left and right need to rise up against this now or...
You know, one thing I think when I go to Las Vegas is, boy, I hope somebody's recording this. And yo, it's not like that goes against any slogans they've had in the past. Yeah, when it's 3 in the morning and I'm stumbling home drunk after losing my kids' college savings, I absolutely want to make sure that's being logged into a system somewhere. Especially when that little Belgian mime prostitute that's always running around the streets out there finds me and gets my last 50 bucks for a sad hand job. She might act like she's in a make-believe box, but I'm probably gonna wind up in a real one at the bottom of a lake for all the money I owe. At least I know the crime against my life will be quickly solved thanks to flock cameras. Unless cops did it, in which case they will delete the footage and post. What a joy it is to speak to Flock as a company. But what about the Flock boss? Who's in charge of this whole thing?
Yeah.
Well, it's this guy, Garrett Langley. All right, let's watch him do a TED Talk.
Can a camera on every corner make us safer? Garrett Langley, TED.
I started Flock 9 years ago because of this exact type of problem. See, I live in a city called Atlanta, and I was frustrated. Crime felt too easy to get away with.
Yo, who does this guy remind me of? It's like a cartoon, like a Pixar character maybe?
So I kept pushing, and eventually I found a major in the Atlanta Police Department who told me, Mr. Langley, it's not apathy, it's not effort, it's evidence. If all we had was a license plate, we could catch these people.
Oh, sorry, I'm not paying attention. I'm still trying to figure out who this guy reminds me of. You know, he kind of looks like Bern Gorman, but that's not it. That's not what I'm thinking of.
And the concept is actually still this simple 9 years later. Car drives by, we do what we call a vehicle signature. We look for the make, the model.
You know, you got like all this fucking surveillance technology, and like Savannah Guthrie's mom's still dead. Didn't save her.
The color, anything a detective would notice. And then you catch the bad guy.
Is it Paranorman? No, that's not it either.
Historically, policing is a subjective exercise. You drive around suspicious neighborhoods looking for suspicious activity, and there is the root of the bias. What's suspicious to me is different than her and different than him.
Did he just show? What the fuck? Oh my God.
And there is the root of the bias. What's suspicious to me is different than her and different than him.
Bro, who does this guy look like?
And this was our first ever press coverage, and I was so proud. I framed this, and my poor mother was like,
Bitchin' ass startup raises $10 million to privatize the surveillance state. That's insane.
Why are you framing this? And I'm like, because it's a reminder.
What just happened? He's giving a TED Talk, right? I walked away for a second. Listen to the words that he's saying, and then what he puts up on screen.
Oh, that's not it either.
Historically, policing is a subjective exercise. You drive around suspicious neighborhoods looking for suspicious activity.
What the fuck? When's this? This is... HR didn't look at this at all.
And there is the root of the bias. What's suspicious to me is different than her and different than him.
Bro, who does this guy look like?
And this was our first ever press coverage, and I was so proud. I framed this.
He's just going mask off. I think he's a racist fuck.
I'm like,
yeah.
Because it's a reminder that when you work on important
this dude's just
things,
racist as hell.
Some people will disagree, and that's okay. It means you should work harder.
Yeah, that's how I feel about keeping tabs on my fucking wife. Oh, he looks like Sid from Toy Story. Is that it? Nah, I don't know. You know what? I'm not going to figure this out. And this guy's just going to keep talking.
The challenge is that...
Please post Garrett's home address and current location if you know it.
I'm sure he won't mind.
It's for safety. Flock's new factory is at 1885 Mitchell Road, Smyrna, Georgia, 30126. What you gonna do? Absolutely nothing at this time. It is information or knowledge that may or may not be useful in the future. Getting rid of flock cameras is about the only thing I can agree with the left on. Not when child trafficking, adrenochrome addicts, and sodomites, child serial killers run a global surveillance system.
Adrenochrome addicts.
Systems tracking and tracing their victims by their DNA.
All right, a lot of strong opinions here, and it appears the only positive comment is this, which looks like an astroturfing bot that like broke down and posted its entire conversation tree by accident. Otherwise, it seems like most people hate this guy and are like posting his address and shit, so that's not cool. Let me calm this down a little bit. I know where you live, Garrett. I know where you live. I've been taking pictures, Garrett.
Who was that you had over last night, Garrett? Just a friend?
Or was it my wife? Probably
I forgot
not,
about his wife
because then
already.
I know where she is, but I see you. I'm not hiding, but you are. Why's your house blurred out on Google Maps,
He
Garrett?
sounds like the voices from fucking Disco Elysium.
You don't want me to see you? That's not very nice. And it's not gonna stop me. I see you right now. And you look scared. All right, and post. All right, well, legal disclaimer, I didn't mean any of that. But hey, Garrett, if you're watching, a lot of people do. That's crazy. Anyway, I think I learned a lot today about Flock. Maybe you did as well. That's not really important to me. What's important is that I track my wife's location, and these fucking cameras actually didn't help at all. So, oh, wait a sec. Oh my God, I'm an idiot. Dude, I enabled location services on her phone like a while ago, and yep, I got a ping. Okay, there she is. All right, let's go get her. Come on, guys. All right, says she should be right here. Where are you? Oh, right. That's right. She died. All right, well, I better dig up that cell phone.
Hey there, folks. Well, it's still the summer, which means we're still selling gay frogs on the NeonGrizzly.com store. Now, what the hell do you know about gay frogs? Nothing. Well, I'll tell you what, over on the NeonGrizzly.com store, we got more gay frogs than a pond next to a Monsanto chemical plant. Gay frog hoodies, gay frog midriff shirts, whatever they're called, I don't know. I don't let my wife wear that. Tank tops, tie-dyes, and much more. NeonGrizzly.com.
All right, well, that's enough for me. Yeah, we were gonna watch these. Actually, I had a Cappy, Chris Cappy video lined up. I don't know if he's gonna tell us that we need to bomb Iran or something, or kill immigrants in this one, but he might. Yeah. Then this guy, we watched him earlier. Just don't have time, man. Where does the time go? Ivanka's Flamingo War. That seems like a good one. Exposing the CIA. John Kirikow still making the rounds. Time be fleeting. Yeah, it really does. I listened to some of this earlier, and he still sounds like as surprised as he did like the first time that I saw him do a podcast. Yeah, he's doing the CIA work for free. I mean, as far as we know, right? Like, you know, I always go back to Malcolm X, you know, talking about how we're allowed to operate. You know, I'm paraphrasing everything that he said in one sentence here. Allowed to operate within a box because, you know, not really seen as a threat. Because it's pre-calculated, basically. Yeah. All right. Have a good night. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate everybody that stopped by. Always appreciate the conversations with you guys. Y'all have a good night.
pretend. Johnny's in America. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans. Johnny wants a brain. Johnny wants to suck on a coke. Johnny wants a woman. Johnny wants to think of a joke. Johnny's in America. Johnny looks up at the stars. Johnny combs his hair and Johnny wants pussy and cars. Johnny's in America. Johnny's in America.